Afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Guest Live. Hey, Queenie.
Hey, Doc, guest live, and we even worked this out to make it at home.
Well, and we have a special guest. She's been on with us before, one of our favorites, local Kansas City real estate agent. Welcome, Miss Jonna. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And isn't it cool that our guests like us so much that they come back?
I know.
How does that work, Doc? I don't know.
Well, I'll send your payment later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah,
I
now we
hear
have
it's spinach.
Yeah, it's spinach. Yes. Yes, from the garden. Oh, did I tell you I'm not growing it yet? You'll have to wait a little bit.
Wait till the snow melts, right?
Yeah, it's melting.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's a little sloshy out there. So, Jonna, what's new in the land of you?
In the land of me, in the land of real estate, that's the $1 million question. What's this year gonna look like? I wish I had a crystal ball. But I can tell you it's been a slow start. I have buyers that are ready. The inventory is just still low. Um, And so that's kind of typical for a January and February, and then comes March and it picks up. But so we're hopeful for that. Interest rates are in the 6.5s.
Okay.
I had a lender tell me that they were doing some research and there's prediction, and they always say this, and will it happen, will it not? We're hoping for the fives, the sixes, and that'll definitely give buyers more buying power, hopefully, to boost our market back up.
So what you're telling us is when it's minus 20 and 30-degree wind chill below zero, people are not going out
Nobody's
to
looking.
houses.
Nope, we stayed home. There were the crazy people that were. I was showing homes and having to kind of kick snow off the curbs and stuff. So, but it's not a bad technique because you're not going to have as much competition. I do like to tell
That's
people,
true.
start looking now if you're ready, because the competition will be less than when it gets to the hotter times. You'll have more negotiation power, hopefully.
I
So
love
you
that.
were,
5 and 6 for interest rates, Doc. What do you think of that?
of course, that to me is high because we got in around two-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Never move.
no,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
no, and actually we've refied and our it was delayed. It would have been lower if it wasn't delayed a month. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, but Jonna, it's always I'm a real estate kid. My mom was in real estate, and it's always,
Mhm.
and you just never know. You'll have somebody come along, and interest rates won't matter, and they just need a house.
Exactly. Yep.
Somebody that's transferring or whatever.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
to ask you, you are a part of the Andy Blake group, and I know you guys do a lot of fun stuff outside of just helping people buy and sell houses. Can you tell us a little bit about what you
Yeah.
do?
So, I mean, you guys, our clients, our friends, you're what keep us going. And so we do 4 events a year just to pay back and say thank you. Because our business, we really run off referrals, and that means the world to us because goodness, I mean, if I've enjoyed working with someone and they hopefully, usually equally enjoy working with me, I'm like, I want to work with more people like you. So we do 4 events a year. They kind of vary in what they are. Coming up this March will be our dumpster day. So we rent big dumpsters and smash the trash guy, and he comes and the kids love it. And once the dumpsters fill, he smashes all the stuff down. So we just invite people to spring clean, bring your junk, we'll take care of it. That is honestly, I know it sounds silly, but one of my favorite events.
Yeah.
Because we grab things out of your car and get to throw them in. It's just a fun atmosphere. And
That's
then
very
we like to do a movie day in the summertime. We rent out a couple theaters and play some movies. So bring your kids. We try to do a grown-up movie and maybe a kid-geared movie. Um, goodness, what else do we do? A pie event
I was gonna say there
at
was pie. We missed
Thanksgiving.
the movie and the pies.
I was gonna say, hang on a second, you had me at pie.
Yep, we've been renting out a space at McLean's Bakery, and then Mo Pies will make the pies for us, and we just say, come pick it up, and we usually have snacks and hang
Very
out, say
cool.
hi, and then yeah. And then the fourth event sometimes varies of what it's gonna look and be like.
It sounds wonderful. I know we've gotten a couple of invites, and of course we're always busy. And one of these days,
I
Queenie, you and I are
know.
gonna have to show up. Maybe we'll do the dumpster. I always have stuff thrown.
Yes, please do. And
Hanging
it's
out.
hard because, we try to stay kind of in the center because we sell houses everywhere. I've sold homes in Paola, so it's not always convenient to drive up to Overland Park to get rid
Oh
of your
yeah,
junk.
bit
But
of a hike. Yep.
we try to make it as accommodating as we can.
Well,
I love
that.
that. I
Sorry,
really
Queenie, go ahead.
No, that's okay. And Jonna, most of your realtors, your agents in your office are Missouri and Kansas licensed, or how does that work?
Yep. Not all, but yeah, we jump back and forth on the border right there. So yeah, I have my Kansas and Missouri license. We've changed some agents on our team, so I believe there's 8 agents on my team right now, and we have a collective goal to sell 150 homes this year.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah.
That is awesome. Now, I have a question. I live in Kansas and I sell my house and I'm moving to Texas. Do you have agents in Texas that can help me, or can you help me, or how does that work?
Great question. So I'm not licensed in Texas, but will do the research and going and finding a couple realtors and kind of figure out their specialties to see if they'd be a good fit for you. And I
Okay.
would set you up with a couple to see if you guys jive well, if it would work out. And then let you make that decision of who you would want to choose. So yeah.
You were explaining to me one time, somebody that wants to sell their house for sale by owner, you can still help them with the paperwork and all of that, which I think is fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it, it's I can talk a lot about it um one-on-one, but yeah, like I have somebody that
There is
wanted
that
to,
option. Yeah.
yeah, if you want me to just kind of handle the paperwork and you don't want to put it on the market on the MLS and just kind of do your own private marketing, but you're like, the paperwork stresses me out. I mean, my heart is to help people and serve you. So,
Right. Well, and it's great that, you can just give you a call and say, "Hey, what's the market doing? What's out there? This is what I'm looking for." 50 acres for $2,000 with a stream.
Oh, there you go.
yes.
That's
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. Yeah.
Yes,
Like everybody else.
yeah, yeah. I that's the biggest thing. I want a house with land. I'm like, get in
Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
get in
Yeah.
line. We all
That's
do.
cool.
So
Yes.
yeah, but I had somebody that they were ready to just sell their house and rent until that perfect property popped up because they didn't want to stress about selling the home, and they were okay with renting until however long they need to find that perfect property for them. So
Now I love to network. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I love to network. And so I know that's a surprise. But here's the deal. With your network being so huge now, Jonna, do you keep a list or make a list of, I need a painter, I need a dryer vent person, I need a house cleaner, I need a patio pourer, concrete person?
yeah.
Do you keep a list of that?
We do. We actually, I don't have it on me, but we have a magnet that we sent out to some of our past clients,
Okay.
and it's got a code that you can scan, and it's got lists of
Okay.
painters, handymen, anything. And it's all, we have put it together from our clients and who we've recommended that they've loved. So it's like, I love you list of people, not just who we enjoy, but who we would trust to take care of you guys. And it's the word of mouth from our past clients said that person was awesome. So then I'd be willing to share that with you because, yeah, we want you to be taken care of. So yeah, we
You
do
know,
have a vendor list.
you know how it is on social media when somebody, and I always see that with some of my very large networked friends, and they do, I need a recommendation for, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, do you have any idea the can of worms you just opened up? Because then somebody goes, "Ah," and I think, oh my gosh. And so that's why I was wondering that we would be able to have an integrous person that could actually tell us someone that maybe you vetted already. And that's why I
Yep.
was okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you know what might work with one person may not work with another. And
Sure.
there's always just that you got to deal with too.
But at least there's a list and it's
Yeah.
not dark.
Yeah. It's not just random 1-800 help me. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
Right.
I love that so much. One thing that I always love to ask is what is something that people don't ask you that you want to share, but you don't want to just go "Bruh," and share it that way, that people are not thinking about when it comes to real estate marketing. What is something that you'd like to share that is usually not addressed in a common conversation?
I guess kind of my whole mission and mission statement behind who Jonna is as a realtor is cheesy salesperson aside. I'm not there for that. I want to take care of you. I want to encourage you through the process. And so I think for me, it's I want people to know my heart, and I want them to know that like I'm working for you to service you, to take care of you. That also requires trust, that you may trust me in my professional opinion, but trust that I am the professional. Because sometimes it's hard to sell your house and people get, you
It's
know,
very emotional. The whole thing is emotional. It's a big
it's
deal.
it's very emotional. And buyers, just that whole process can be very tumultuous too, of like, how come our offer didn't get selected? And sometimes it's hard. I'm like, well, you didn't trust me when I said if we would have done this on the contract, that might have put us up a little bit. But I'm not going to push someone to do it. All I do is work for you, let you make that decision and sign when you're ready. But I'll make sure that you understand what you're signing and to get you the home, whether it's selling or buying. So, um, yeah, it's just want people to know I'm really working on your best interest in your behalf.
People talk
So
about buyer's agent, seller's agent. Can you, Jonna, do both, or do we need to pick another person for the opposite? What does that look like?
So if you're working with me, we'll just paint a scenario. I had somebody sell their house, so I
Okay.
was the selling agent, and then they didn't have to, but then used me as the buying agent too. And I've also, in return, I helped someone buy a home, but then they chose someone else to sell their home. And it's just people's preference. So when you
Okay.
sign a contract or agency agreement, it's usually one representation. So I would be, if we're showing homes, we're going to sign a buyer's agency agreement. And that's a protection on both of us. It's a protection of my time and also so I can legally represent you through the process too. But I'm
so
always open, like, if you ever feel like we aren't jiving and it's not working well, let's have a discussion and I can release you.
so
So
what's the difference between a real estate agent and the broker?
the
What's
broker is, yeah, great question. The broker is the person that, so in my brokerage, they hold all of the licensees, agents, licenses. And so the broker is really paying attention to the laws. They're looking over the contracts. It's a
the big
big
deal?
job.
Yeah.
It's a big job because they're the ones that are going to get in trouble. So when I get paid, a lot of people are like, well, how does commission work? How do I get paid? At the end of the sale when there's closing. And typically, historically, it is in the seller has both the broker and the listing agent and the broker of the buyer agents. 6% goes in that sale, 3% to one, 3% to the other, but it goes to the brokerage. So I don't get paid that, and then the brokerage pays me after that. whatever their fees and cuts and marketing and all that stuff. That was a little bit of a rabbit trail, but sometimes people have questions about that.
Well, you see broker all over the place
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
sometimes people won't know.
They're the ones holding your license. And
Okay.
they're not my boss. They just hold my license. And I can move to any brokerage I want. In fact, my team, we just went to Real. It's a new brokerage. And it's been actually really awesome. It's been a growing one that better serves the community because we're very much able to reach more agents and communicate. And our motto is work hard, be kind.
Oh my gosh, I'm in love with that part already. And I mean that because you know how you hear stories that ain't so great, and all of a sudden it's like, who on earth am I going to trust? And that's why we were super duper excited when you said yes to another Doc and Queenie guest live, because in our community, Doc and Queenie, the Doc, wouldn't you agree? The folks that have become part of the community are now networking with each other and sharing referrals back and forth and sharing business. And I think that is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's one thing in this brokerage. It's not competition. It's like we all want to help each other and each other's clients. I have a listing coming up. Awesome. Like we're just encouraging and trying to better serve our clients because
And I was gonna say, in my experience growing up, real estate stuff can be cutthroat and nasty. So that is great to hear.
oh yeah.
I mean, that is really great that you guys are a cohesive team
Mhm.
and that you're putting your clients first. I mean, that's the way it
Yep.
should be in anything, but that's
Yep.
great.
After a transaction, I always write a thank you note with a little card to the other agent I worked with saying, because we're co-op agents, cooperative agents is our goal to serve our clients, but be the communicator. And so I always, you treat them with kindness, and I've had some bullies, but
So,
they still get a card from me, even the bullies.
yes,
I still
yes.
give them a card, kill them with kindness.
One last question before we're probably gonna have to, go ahead, Queenie. Do you have it looks like you've got a question. Because I was just
Oh,
gonna say,
it's definitely not a question, but I'm going to go over this video myself to see how
yeah,
many times Jonna has actually said team.
Mm.
right.
And I think that speaks volumes for your work ethic, because it's just like you were talking about. It's not competition and cutthroat and all this stuff. And I really am. I'm going to go back and see how many times in this call you have said team.
You
Yep.
just said we, yeah, and that's a biggie. So
Yep.
what kind of advice could you give somebody right now that's kind of kicking around, maybe buying here or selling here in the next couple of months? Is there like 2 or 3 points that you would suggest that they
Talk to me.
Point one, check.
Talk to
Jonna.
me. I'll connect with you. I want to support you. I want to guide you. Connect with the lender. I have some great ones. There are no kickbacks. They're just people I love and trust my clients to work with, and we communicate well. It's all a communication game. And yeah, dream with me. I want to hear it. And let's just try to make it happen. And then I'll be realistic too and be like, and no.
I
That
have
like 12 acres of land with that you just described, we're gonna be waiting a while.
Spring fed creek.
But you know what
yeah, there
I
you
have
go.
done is I have
Wow.
written notes and mailed them to different homes where people are like, I really love this neighborhood. Go an extra mile that way just to see if like, have you thought about selling? I actually have a buyer. And maybe you guys have gotten those. Sometimes be like, oh, I always get letters
Yep,
from
yep.
realtors, but like some of them are actually genuine. And I try to make mine really be set apart and like this
It's
is
not on the printed
genuine.
postcard. It's not on the printed postcard that everybody got.
No, I'm gonna handwrite it or sign it and give all my information. Call me, I will confirm I have a buyer.
I instantly have a new hashtag for you, Jonna. Hashtag dream with me. And
Mm,
that is just the coolest thing, because once again, you can feel your heart in this call. And I think it's seriously the coolest thing ever to be able to, you offer a referral list of vendors. I think that is so awesome because you vetted them. It's not 1-800, I can look for it too. It's literally hashtag dream with me. And I love the fact that you want us to share. What's your next step? Let's find out. Go. That is cool.
make it fun. It's very stressful, but let's have fun.
Yeah.
So how can people reach out to you?
Phone
How
number.
can they, yeah, why don't you give us your little spiel on how to reach out to you?
Okay.
Email, phone number.
Yeah, I mean, and I can write it down somewhere too, but you can reach me at 913-515-9656. That is the best way. Google me, it'll pop up. I've done it. My kids Google me and they're like, Mom, there you are. So it'll pop up. Jonna Janzen. So
Well, thank you, Jonna Janzen, for joining Doc and Queenie today on Guest Live. It's been a thrill to have you again. And everybody reach out. She's a fantastic real estate agent and she's great at answering questions. And we are thrilled and honored to have you on here today.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right,
you,
everyone.
thank you.
Thank you, Queenie. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We're live on a replay, and you can catch Doc and Queenie Facebook Live Monday at.
High noon.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend, and go Chiefs.
Yes, seriously. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone. Thanks,
Thank
Jonna.
you. Thanks,
bet.
Jonna.
Bye,
Bye.
Doc.
Bye. Bye, Queenie. Bye, Queenie.
Bye, Doc.